So as I was saying, David Leaf had done a 100-page booklet essay, basically, over the Beach Boys, and Capitol said, actually, we're going to make this 40-pager. So he didn't. I don't think he took the essay and edited it down. I think he rewrote it because he goes on to say that he would like to somehow publish the original 100-page essay with something, I don't know. He'd like to publish it as a book or something, but obviously we've not seen that yet. I don't think any David Leaf, I know he's done the Pet Sounds. He did the newsletters back in the day in the late 70s, one of the original Beach Boys newsletters. And then he has the California Myth book, which he has done an original one and then he re-released another one with updated info. So I don't think he has released that at all. So let's go on. Let's see. I know Lee Dempsey asked, "What would you do differently with the book, with the box set?" And he replied that he would have put the Lord's Prayer on the box, and then take the song "Things We Did Last Summer." That was from a movie or something, a very Murray Wilson song, not even written by any of the Beach Boys. He would have taken that and put it at the end, at the end of like disc one. He said as a chronological track, it just didn't fit very well. I kind of agree. It's kind of a Lawrence Welk kind of a track. I'm glad I got in. I'm glad it was on there though. I don't know, where else we would have got it. So that was kind of cool. Let's see. He said, let's see, Little Surfer Girl may have, should have, not may have, should have, could have been for a Brian Wilson Productions package, being that it's more of a, let's see, that it's more of a Brian Wilson, session, but it's also has, it's historical because, it's like Brian's first experiment of producing something. So that's really awesome. And he also goes on to talk about how he put the demo of Surfing USA as the first track, not and there's a couple of things like that in here. It's like, wait a minute. He, chronologically, Surfing USA demo didn't come first. The song Surfing and loads of other songs, unreleased songs and other songs that the Hype Morgan sessions, those were done. And Surfing USA didn't come later. But he said, first track, it had to be something to take off, and be like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be like some great hits by the Beach Boys. It's also going to be some good rarities and things you don't find everywhere. So he wanted something to take off. And that Surfing USA demo definitely does that. And whatever Brian Wilson box set or productions disc, if there was anything, there's the Pet Projects, but that's not really, I don't think it's very applicable for that. But, or speaking of nowadays, maybe the Big Beat would have been a place to release that. But where there's, little Pet Projects and early stuff. So I could see that happening. Let's see. Punchline. They put Punchline on there. Wow, I'm only on part 2, and I'm just now on disc 1. No. I'm going to try to hurry through this because I hate putting multiple parts up. So anyway, they put Punchline on there to give a feel of the instrumentals that the guys used to do. They didn't, there's a handful, maybe a couple handfuls of uh, early instrumentals that were on the early albums, like Rockin' Surfer, covers of Honky Tonk and Miserloo, Moondog, Carl's Big Chance, Shutdown Part 2, all those goodies. Instead of reiterating and putting one of those on there, they put Punchline. And Lee Dempsey makes a nice little equation there. He says, you put the Brian's demo of Surfing USA and you put Punchline together and you get Surfing USA, the released version. Because, Punchline has that organ part riff that was used on Surfing USA on the instrumental break. So that's kind of cool. I've kind of noticed that as well. Moving on. Let's see. Sorry, something came up on my phone. That was out of nowhere. Let's see. UK comes and says, "Hey, we want some of our songs that did well over here in the UK on the box too." And so they wanted some hits included, like Then I Kissed Her, Here Comes the Night, Bluebirds Over the Mountains, and Cotton Fields, which I could see Cotton Fields being on the box set, even if they didn't ask for it, but who knows. Um, so they requested that, and they're kind of like, all right. So they may have switched a couple of things around, and added Then I Kissed Her on there, and Cotton Fields, but not Here Comes the Night or Bluebirds. Those are two iffy songs. I like them. There's not too many songs I don't like of the Beach Boys, but for some fans, they're like, that draws the line. Do not put them on there. But I guess over in the UK, that back then they did great back then. So they would have left some of those off, like Then I Kissed Her, had they known that the UK was going to put out a disc 6, which is kind of weird. Kind of like there was some lost communications there that they were going to do that or whatever. I don't own disc 6, unfortunately. Not that there's anything new on there or anything, but it's just some songs that did well over there, like Tears in the Morning, Here Comes the Night, the disco version I meant. Let's see. And a couple other things. Sumahama maybe. Things they would have done differently. I believe he talks about he would have. No, I'm sorry, messed that up. He was talking about how some people were like thought it was weird the songs that they picked for Pet Sounds, because I believe it goes, wouldn't it be nice? You Still Believe in Me. Sloop John B comes way before that because it's chronological as a single. So Sloop John B, Wouldn't It Be Nice? You Still Believe in Me. God Only Knows. I Know There's an Answer, aka Hang On to Your Ego, I believe. Unless that's the bonus track. I Just Wasn't Made for These Times. The instrumental, known as Pet Sounds or Run James Run, which is a title coming up on Brian's new album, which is cool. And Caroline No. Some people thought, whoa, those are some weird songs that they picked there. I think maybe especially the instrumental Pet Sounds. And David Leaf says that he wished he would have put Let's Go Away for a While on. Just a little more pleasing, I guess. I guess he enjoyed that one more. Would have shown off Brian's talents maybe a little bit more. Who knows? I like both instrumentals pretty well. Moving on. Disc 4 starts out with Sail on Sailor. I know when I first listened, I thought, wait, isn't So Tough come after Surf's Up? Because I know Disc 3 ends with the last track, Surf's Up, and Until I Die. And then you pop in Disc 4 and Sail on Sailor plays, and then the other Holland era songs. So I was kind of confused by that, and it wasn't mentioned in the book, I don't think, as to why they did that in the booklet. He said this is again kind of like the Surfing USA demo used. Uh, he knew with the last like 20, 15 years, uh, 15 to 20 years, um, that he needed to grab the audience with a well-known tune, and that would like motivate everybody, like, oh yeah, disc four. And so Sail on Sailor, from So Tough all the way to like Still Cruising, besides Kokomo, was that well-known tune that everybody knew, that either everybody knew or everybody enjoyed. So it wasn't chronological, but it was the best of that era, best song of that era, and he said that. So uh, he also said that it's kind of weird that all this is that the ending is kind of ruined, because right after the really J Guru Dev vocals by Carl, which are very angelic and sweet, uh, you just let me hear some of that rock and roll and music, and it's just like whoa. uh and it's kind of like the weird thing on wind chimes, or the ending, or the ending of wind chimes, how quiet it is, and then you got getting hungry, or the transcendental meditation, how loud it is on the Friends album. We say that's Brian's sense of humor, making it really loud. Um, so he said, maybe I should have done. You need a massive help to stand alone, and then all this is that, and then Marcella. Make it a little better that way. I'm gonna point the camera at me for a little while.